I'm hoping you really dig in the music. I worked really hard to pick something clever, cheesy, and 80s for everything as we continue to make this show more 80s than it needed to really be, even though Bailey, or I guess Arno, you really never either saw a lick of the 80s. But we're here. This is episode 2 of X Gets to Square. Why X Gets to Square? I still have no idea. I just like the name of the show. And today, Bailey and myself have the absolute pleasure of having Arno Kiss, who we are knocking another country off the list. I believe that just rhymed. As we go all the way to Belgium. I don't know. How are you doing at 11 o'clock in Belgium?
I'm doing good. This is supposed to be like the start of my workday, so I'm feeling good that I can skip a few hours and get some work done deep into the night.
So. Are you when you dig into your work? Is it more like are you more of a night owl than you are daytime?
Oh yeah, for sure. The main issue, well, it's not an issue. I've grown to like it, but almost all of my clients are based in the U.S. So if I work on European time, we always talk to each other with like a day delayed. So I found it's easier to like swap myself over to East Coast time and just work those hours instead.
It makes a lot of sense. Now, Bailey, you're not at home. Where are you right now?
So I am in Kadoka, South Dakota. It is a very small town where the business district is, I kid you not, a dairy processing plant, and it has a subway and a gas station, and that's just about it. I'm staying in this teeny tiny little Airbnb that is very well decorated, as you can see. But yeah, no, I just got 3 minutes before we went on the air, got back from driving around the Badlands National Park. So we've been all over the place today, but I'm here, and I'm excited to talk about pop culture and all things Arno. So,
it's so Arno, and once again, I felt like I'm up on the postgame. I didn't know much about you previous to Bailey saying, "Hey, listen, have you ever heard of Arno Kiss?" I said no, and he's like, "Well, you should check out his work because he's interested." And me and Bailey have this new idea of like we're going to try to reach out to an artist from every country possible to have on the show to have like this worldwide effect of just talking to random people in different countries. And I started digging into your work, and holy shit, man! Like it's first of all, it pops. Like everything about your work pops. Very colorful, very vivid. Like I like a lot of the neon like colors you use and stuff. So really, it's really clever. I do dig your work. It's just I never previous to this, and I apologize. I just never had heard of you before.
Well, I don't forgive you, first of all.
Fuck.
No, it's I think I kind of tend to fly under the radar. I don't do a lot of social media stuff.
Okay.
That's never been my thing. I'm trying to be a bit more active on Twitter, but it's like a second job to me, and I really dislike it. So my usual posts on social media are just, oh look, I have this poster out now, and then I disappear for another couple of weeks, and then I have another poster out, and I disappear again. So I don't blame people for not knowing me.
So the question is, are you like, does a lot of people know what you look like, or are you like coming out of the woodwork for today?
This is my first public appearance.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever seen Arno's face.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
Arno numerous times. So.
I may have like one selfie on my Instagram from Christmas 2017 or something, but that's about it.
Well,
honestly, considering the subject of your work, I had a half a mind to think you were just like a small floating sphere or eyeball in like a jar of liquid that you just like used computers to generate your artwork. Just considering that you draw all these fun, colorful robots and like fun, colorful kind of like interdimensional beings and wizards and whatnot. So I figured there was some sort of cyber wizardry going on there. But I'm glad to know that you're human, unless this is a very well rendered CG model that's being projected onto the screen right now. So.
Well,
yeah, I'm actively trying to transition into being a floating eyeball, but it's not being very successful.
Well, it's
there.
Hey, listen, we all work towards something, right?
Exactly.
Arno, looking at a lot of your work, one of the things that like stood out to me looking at a bunch of things was like a lot of space influenced ideas. Is that something that like is just like you're really interested in, or is that like just kind of fell into that?
Kind of both. I did. I listened to a lot of podcasts, and when I was coming up as an artist, this was like I think 2014, 2015. There was a guy I listened to, and they always said you need to draw what you want to know because you're going to need to do a lot of research about what you're drawing. So try to find something you're interested in and draw that. And I'm very interested in space and everything surrounding space, so I just tend to gravitate towards that. Also, it's easy to fill up a lot of blank space with a bunch of dots.
I understand. Now, you know what I just realized? I lied to you. So I own one of your pieces.
Oh, look at that.
I didn't realize it, so I'm looking at this. So your Beetlejuice from 2017, I own that.
Oh my god, you're one of the 10 people that bought that poster, so thank you.
See, look at that. I'm the 10%. No, it's great. And talking about Beetlejuice, I want to talk about something. Now, are you what like when you think of movies, like your favorite movies, what are your favorite movies?
That's such a I should have prepared for this because I saw your last podcast.
Or no,
My
I messaged you at like 11 a.m. asking you. Man.
I think my favorite movie of all time has to be Moneyball, which is weird, but I love that movie.
Okay.
I know it's a weird pick, especially considering the artwork I make. But I don't know, that movie always strikes a chord with me, and if it's on, I can't turn it off. Other than that, I like everything wild and crazy. Like I really love the Marvel saga, and I'm really interested to see where they take it next.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, Bailey. I don't know if we've ever even talked about this. How do you guys feel about horror movies?
Arno, you go first.
I can take him or leave him. Like a horror movie for me has to be gory.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of horror movies lately are gravitating away from that.
Sure.
Like I like the last one I really liked was Midsummer, I think. I really like that one. I really liked the remake of The Evil Dead.
Oh,
that
yes.
was a really good. Other than that, I tend to forget a lot about them.
Okay. What about you, Bailey?
So, just to piggyback directly off of what Arno said, I hated Midsummer. I watched it once. It was good. It was entertaining, but it was incredibly jarring, and I feel traumatic in a way, to the point where I was asked a couple of months ago to do a poster for Midsummer, and I didn't want to do it specifically because I would have to watch it again for research, and I don't want to get myself reacquainted with the events of that film. But I am a really big fan of like psychological thrillers. So less gory, more psychological in terms of like what is on the screen. But it isn't my favorite genre, but I can definitely get down with a good thriller or a good like horror movie that gets me thinking or has like a really good plot point that's not just like buckets of blood.
Well,
Also, I just wanted to get back. The reason you don't like Midsummer is exactly why it's such a good movie.
Yeah, it's too. They did such a good job with the sound engineering for it,
Yeah.
and just like the visual. I feel like the visuals of it are so. There's so much like little editing that goes onto it. Like it's all mostly practical effects, and so I feel like the touch of that as well as the sound engineering, especially during that cliff scene, is what really like that. That's what pushes it over the edge for me and makes it something that I don't want to endure like any more than the one time that I had to. And the thing is I went into watching that movie as a casual watch. I was working one day and I was like, oh, I might as well watch that new Midsummer movie because I saw that was added to one of the streaming websites I like. And I ended up not being able to work the rest of the day because I think I just laid on the ground and stared at the ceiling for the next like 7 hours. So it was a really bad, like very, very, very poor decision on my part to watch it as a casual watch.
So I haven't seen the movie. I saw Hereditary, and I didn't like it at all. Like it wasn't my cup of tea. And I was told like if you don't like Hereditary, you're not going to like Midsummer because it's like I guess
you probably won't. No.
Okay. So I'm glad that you're saying that because it kind of like validates that. And see, like, and the reason I'm asking about horror movies is so this past weekend, the Shudder did this deal where you can get like the Shudder app and AMC, like for like $50 for the year. And I'm like, oh, that's a good deal. And I'm all about like the process. Like I love like learning how things come together. Like when I first interviewed Bailey, I love like learning about like how he puts his artwork together, like the cleverness behind it and stuff. And I started watching this documentary on Shudder about like the creation and development of certain horror movies in like certain time periods and like how they came together and like, how they've had to change and stuff. And like one of the guys that was on there was like, if you ask somebody what their favorite horror movie is, it can tell a lot about them. And he's like, and he basically has this documentary out about like, you can tell a lot about the people who like certain movies. And it was interesting. And that's why I was curious what movies you like. Cause like me growing up, like Evil Dead, I've watched Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2 probably a million times in my life. Those are my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is probably to me one of the greatest horror movies of all time, because a lot of people watch that and think it's more violent than it really is, because there's a lot of, have you both seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of times you'll see it, and like, do you remember the part where the woman got the hook right through her chest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when she got put up on the meat hook, it went into her back, right? It didn't go all the way through her chest.
Yeah. See, the funny thing is, I thought the same thing because when they were talking about this, and it's like, no, it's only implied. Like they only show her thrown up against the wall. Everyone just assumes it happens. And then I rewatched Texas Chainsaw Massacre last night, and yeah, it's really not that violent of a movie. They just imply a bunch of things. It was just this really interesting thing, and it was like the same thing with what's it called, The Purge. Like there's a lot of things that people think happened that didn't happen. It's almost like the Shazam theory. Remember the Shazam theory from a couple of years ago? Like everyone thought Shazam was a real movie, that Shaquille O'Neal was Shazam, and it never really happened.
Wait, what?
You never
I
heard of this?
completely missed this. Isn't there a Shazam movie with Shaquille O'Neal?
No.
I think I'm too young to be like thinking about this, because I've never heard of the Shazam theory that Shaquille O'Neal was in it. But
hold on. Okay, so if you ask a bunch of people, hey, do you remember the Shazam movie with Shaquille O'Neal? And everyone will be like, yeah, I kind of remember watching that. And there is no Shazam movie with Shaquille O'Neal. If you IMDb it, there is no Shazam movie with Shaquille O'Neal, but there's millions of people who assume it. And what happened was, back in whatever year it was, Shaquille O'Neal and, oh God, I got to remember what the guy's name is, Sinbad, both had a movie come out the same weekend. Shaquille O'Neal was in a movie called Steel. Sinbad was in a movie called, oh my God, something like The Genie or something, where he was a genie, and people saw most of the same movies at the same time, and their mind combined them together because they look similar and act similar to make it think like there really was a movie called Shazam.
That's so weird.
Dude,
I would have 100% told you I saw the movie Shazam with Shaquille O'Neal back in the 90s.
There is, you can watch a documentary about this. It is on, I think it's on Amazon, about someone who like, because there's a theory out there, which is crazy. There is these like people that believe that like it proves there's time travel because people saw it, and then someone hated it so much they went back in time and erased the movie. But it was burned in people's memories so much that it couldn't be removed. So that was like this guy's like plot, is like he believes time travel is a real thing.
That's more believable to me than that movie just not existing. So.
Oh man! Now, Arno, have you watched a new movie recently? What are you up to? What have you been watching?
The last movie I watched was I think Mitchell versus the Machines on Netflix.
That is such an underrated animated movie. I've watched it
That
twice.
is the best movie of the year. Nothing is going to top that one.
Oh, good.
Whoa,
It is so good.
I haven't seen it yet, but best movie.
It's so good.
Better than
I know Dune is going to release this year, but that movie is going to be the best movie of the year.
Matrix.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. They had a army of Furbies being commanded by a giant Furby that is like the harbinger of darkness that shoots a laser beam out of its beak.
He's called the Ancient One.
Oh yeah, he's called the Ancient One.
How do I never heard such a thing?
Also, the animation is so good. It's by the same people who did Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
and
really
they do a lot of
2D and 3D.
Yeah, it's really well done.
I'm gonna have to look at this because I've never heard of this. Because this year's, I mean, some of the movies that really stand out to me this year so far that I really enjoyed. I loved Nobody. I don't know if you guys seen that yet.
Really good.
No.
Yeah. So the company that made John Wick made this movie. It has the guy from
Bob Odenkirk.
Thank you. Who you would never expect to be like an action person because everyone knows him from, Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, and he was kind of like this sleazeball. But in this movie, he plays this badass action guy, and it really resonates. It's just so clever and well done, his acting. Like that's a top movie for me this year. Tomorrow I'm going to go see the was it Silent something? Whatever, the new Silent movie where they don't talk in the movie with what the hell's
Quiet
Quiet
Place
Place
2.
2.
Quiet Place 2. Thank you. I want to call it
I
Silent Hill.
forgot that movie was even made because it got pushed back so far because of COVID.
Yeah.
I forgot that it even was made and came out. You said that, and I was like, wait a second, no. A Quiet Place came out 3 years ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Quiet
But
Place.
No, wow, that's
So Quiet Place 2 comes out. I mean, you got to think about how many movies, right? Got put on the back burner that are not coming out. I mean, that are already finalized in production, but are either going to come out this year or next year. I mean, think about Ghostbusters comes out in a couple of months. The Matrix comes out in a couple of months.
Black Widow.
Black Widow comes out in a couple months. And the thing is with Black Widow, I want to give you a theory, right?
Wait, that's also in 2 weeks. That's a lot sooner than 2 months.
Oh yeah,
That's in 2 weeks that comes out. It comes out the same day that the Loki TV show premieres.
Interesting. I didn't
And
know
also
that.
In the Heights, the new Lin-Manuel Miranda musical comes out on the 11th on HBO Max.
I didn't know that either. See, there's
You want to hear the saddest news ever? We don't get HBO Max in Belgium.
Oh, we had this. We were talking about this with Dan because they don't get it in the
That's
UK
right.
either. And so Anthony and I talk about all these HBO Max things, and then when Dan
No,
was on here last
it's so
month,
depressing because I browse Reddit and Twitter and I see all these posters like, "Oh, coming exclusively to HBO Max," and I just get bummed out every day.
That's right, because we were talking to Dan about Mortal Kombat, and he couldn't see it
Yep.
because, and to me, I still think that was another great movie that came out this year. It was probably the first Mortal Kombat movie done right.
I haven't seen it yet, but I heard very good things about the first 15 minutes of the movie. I haven't heard any good things about all the other parts of the movie.
I
there was
enjoyed
a
it.
1.5 minute long stretch. That
Oh,
was
Jesus
the most
Christ.
enjoyable part of the movie for me. And I went
stop.
on about this a month ago as well. It was a 1.5 minute stretch because they played the song. They played the theme song, and that was the highlight of the entire film
stop
for
it.
me.
No.
It's because for the back 85% of it, you're like, when are they going to do it? When are they going to do it? When are they going to play it? And then it finally happens, and then it's just like, all right, cool. You're still riding the high of hearing the song, and so the last part of the movie, everyone's like, yeah.
Goro getting his arms ripped off, the violent the fatalities. Oh my God! There's great. But hey, there's so Brad, who's tuning in and commenting, asks, "Don't you have a VPN in Belgium that you can get around some stuff?"
Yeah, but we don't talk about that. No, actually, I could, but I still need to set up my HBO Max.
Yeah.
I did a lot of those things when I was 24, 25, because we didn't have Netflix back then either. And I just, I got old and lazy.
Oh,
God, you
jeez.
didn't have Netflix when you were 24, 25? I just turned 24 2 days ago, and I have HBO Max. And so I feel like I'm on the higher precipice of streaming than you guys were when you were 24, 25.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Listen, you know what I did? But here's the thing that maybe Arno a little bit, but I got to enjoy that you didn't. When I was 24, so I was married. I've been married a year with my wife, and we had the Blockbuster membership. And we used to go, you can rent any two movies at any time, and it would cost $20 a month. And we would actually watch two movies, and the Blockbuster would close at 10:30. So if we knew the movie was going to end, we had enough time, we'd be like, hurry up movie. And because we would try to get as quickly as possible, go to Blockbuster to get two new movies that we could enjoy overnight. There was this passion about going through movies and picking them up and looking them over. And I don't know, what was cool about horror movies, especially back then was you go to the horror section and you get these off the wall horror movies, and you basically pick it off by the cover. And that's how the whole saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Well, at Blockbuster, that's kind of what you had to do, because you had to trust the cover itself to move forward. And God, those days were fun. I enjoyed doing that. So, I didn't have Netflix per se, because I think Netflix was still in the early ages of direct DVD to mail. It's all good. You can have your Netflix, Bailey. You can have it.
Yeah, there's something special. There's something special about going to a VCR rental place and having your dad tell you can pick one thing, and you're picking the absolute worst movie in the world.
So I think you guys forgot how far along into the 2000s Blockbuster was a thing, because I still went to Blockbuster to rent movies and games when I was younger. I have vivid memories of going there and buying the popcorn bucket that had the soda and the candy in it. That was a movie night in a bucket, and I rented Game Boy Advance games from there. But See, here's the thing. We had a local video store called Home Video, which was exactly like Blockbuster. It was movies, DVDs, video games, whatever. But they didn't have the film covers on the. Also, that's a great Jack Black movie. The Be Kind Rewind. The covers of them was literally just the words Home Video Xeroxed, and it was like kind of almost out of ink, but still had enough ink to read it, every single one of them. And so, it was just like Home Video Gremlins 2, and then in parentheses, like 1989 or 1987 or whenever Gremlins 2 came out. And so I still had the experience of going to a movie store and picking something out and everything. I couldn't drive at that point, obviously, so I was kind of at the will of when my parents wanted to take me. But it was fun. I definitely still prefer having HBO Max here at 24, but I lived through it. I have my battle scars from it.
I do, like Arno said, there was just like that. There was something kind of romantic about the idea of like, you were good on a Friday night, because Friday, like for me, Friday night was pizza and a movie. Like, and it was for like even if I was with like my aunt, like it was something about my family. It was like pizza and movies, like that's what you did, and it was exciting about like you go to the video store and be like, hey, you get one movie, and it was like, and if you only can get one movie, that is the damn toughest freaking decision you can possibly make, because you're like, all right, and then like I got to the point where I'm like, all right, I got to find a movie that's longer than this one, because if I'm only getting a movie that's an hour long, well, I'm not getting like my money's worth. So like I took so damn long to pick a freaking movie at the video store. Like I got to the point where like nobody invited me to go to the video store when I was younger, because of like, we don't want to deal with this bullshit.
All right, so here's the question then. What were you guys' preferred films or like movies to rent if you did go back to another one whenever you went back and rented one?
Well, it's tricky because I had to think about a lot of things, because the way video stores worked back in Belgium back then was the newest releases, because we guys always got releases like a couple months after they got released over in the US, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the newest releases, if you rented those, you had to bring them back the next day.
Mm.
And then older releases you could keep for the entire weekend. So every Friday we went to the video store, and my dad said you could pick one, and then I had to pick like, am I gonna watch this tonight, or am I gonna watch this tomorrow, or the day after? So I had to go like, do I want to see a new movie or an old one? Being said, I usually for like the Steven Seagal movies.
So I will say this: the one movie, because like Bailey was saying, like there was always like, if I couldn't find anything, there was two movies I remembered a certain period of my time that I always rented. It was Stephen King's Rose Red. Like I don't know if you guys ever seen that. It was like a TV series that they made into a movie, and it was like, I don't know, there's something about that movie I really loved. It was kind of like a House on Haunted Hill meets like, The Haunting. Like it was really clever. I really enjoyed that. And the other one was Army of Darkness. I rented Army of Darkness to the point where I'm pretty sure I could have bought it like 20 times over, but I rented the shit out of that movie. Like that was, to me, like that was a perfect, like just silly ridiculousness, gory, like it makes no sense why they make this movie, but it like it was a beautiful thing. And then another one was Empire Records, like Empire Records, which is my favorite movie of all time. That I rented the hell out of, because at one point from 97 to 2002, you couldn't purchase the movie. There was a couple movies you couldn't purchase, you could only rent, and that was one of them, because it was like a licensing issue they had. So like I used to rent the hell out of that one, just be able to like watch it.
Wow, I feel like you guys have your answers are way cooler than mine, because I'm about to show my age. I'm about to show my age real bad here, because I was younger than both you guys when this age of renting movies was happening. So my go-to movie, it was a stunner. One of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of all time. The writing, fantastic. It's an epic space saga where it has DIY spaceships and aliens. And it is, you can get a drum roll, it is the Jimmy Neutron movie before they made the TV show.
Jesus.
Fantastic piece of cinema. Absolutely wonderful. I watched it so many times. They had the sequence in it where they played that Kids in America song. And when they did that, these like 12-year-olds completely stripped an entire amusement park and built spaceships out of the rides and all of the things in the amusement park. And when I saw that, I thought, cool, my career is going to be spaceship building at an amusement park. That didn't really pan out, but I'm an artist now, which I feel like is the second degree off of that. So as close as I can possibly get to that dream being realized.
Yeah, and I can see a lot of Jimmy Neutron scavenging parts from an amusement park in your work. Like it reflects.
That's the greatest compliment. That's the greatest compliment anyone's ever given me. I can barely even formulate the words to thank you. So thank you. I appreciate it. But no, segueing from Anthony, you said one of your favorite movies was Army of Darkness. It's movie recently.
Not my favorite movie of all time. It's a good. It's one of my movies I rented a lot. It's not my favorite movie. Evil Dead is the best one of the series. I mean, Evil Dead 2 is the best one of the series in my opinion.
I got you. So one of your favorite ones that you rented was Army of Darkness. There's a new movie that just came out. That's a Zack Snyder movie.
Oh, Jesus
on
Christ.
Netflix called Army of Dead. I've watched it 3 times already, and I thoroughly enjoyed it every single time.
Oh,
See, Anthony, what I'm gathering is that all the movies that you loved, I didn't like, and all the movies that I love, you didn't like, which makes for a very interesting co-host for a pop culture podcast thing. But no, so I loved it. I loved how ridiculous it was. I love Dave Bautista. He's one of my favorite actors. And so I really enjoyed that.
Wait a minute. How the hell? And listen, I'm a big wrestling guy. I thought Dave Bautista did a great job of this. But how can anybody in the right mind say Dave Bautista is one of my favorite actors? I mean, because you might as well be like.
He was in Stuber, which was really good.
Oh my
He
goodness.
was Drax is one of the greatest MCU characters ever created, in my humble opinion. Like that line in Infinity War with the whole "Why is Gamora?" That was ad-libbed. You can't tell me that someone that ad-libbed the "Why is Gamora?" line. You can't tell me that whoever ad-libbed that is not one of the greatest actors of our generation.
Bailey, that comment almost would make as much sense as someone saying the best comic book movie of all time is Barbed Wire, and the best superhero is Pam Anderson playing Barbed Wire.
I actually think
I could get behind that more than Dave Bautista being one of the best actors.
All right, guys. All right. So let's go ahead and just scrap my Dave Bautista comment. Anyways, there was.
I also really enjoy Dave Bautista and the 3 roles he plays.
You know,
big muscly guy with tattoos, blue guy with tattoos, or big muscly guy with tattoos with glasses. Those are the three. Those are the 3 Dave Bautista roles. But no, I really enjoyed Army of the Dead because it was almost like they acknowledged how ridiculous the premise of the movie was, and they just went completely all out. Like they went off the rails. I really enjoyed the action. I really enjoyed the fact that there was a zombie tiger. That has not been done before. So that alone was enjoyable. And then the fact that they said, oh, that was one of Siegfried and Roy's, and it guards their territory. Like they're saying Siegfried and Roy are like 2 of the zombie kings that are in Las Vegas. Like I love that. I love that so much.
Did you, Arno? Have you seen this movie yet?
No, I really want to because I've always loved Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a really good remake.
Yeah.
So I kind of had high expectations for this one.
So I was a huge.
He's gonna talk you out of it.
No. I love Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead was great. I thought that was a great movie. Here's the issue I had with this movie. It was a little long. 2.5 hours long is a little long for a zombie movie. And I understand.
These days, almost all movies are 2 hours and a half.
Yeah, it got to the point where it was like, and listen, I love a cheesy movie. I mean, hell, I watched was it Dead Heat the other day? Which, if you don't know what that is, then that's a whole other conversation. But I like terrible movies. The problem I had with this movie was there was too many moving pieces. It's a zombie story. It's it's like a father-daughter story. It's like all these micro stories involved. It's like it's like a pregnant zombie. There's too much going on, and I like fast zombies. I think they're more scary than slow-walking zombies personally, and there are fast in this. But then there's like different levels of zombies in here, and it's like you almost have to do a math equation to figure out what is what and who is doing what. Was it a terrible movie? No. Would I recommend not watching it? No. I would highly recommend watching it. It's a good movie, but is it something worth watching more than once? That is a big negative. But I will tell you this, Arno. If there is a movie I highly recommend based off of Bailey's recommendations of things, I would recommend everyone to go watch the movie Barbed Wire. Barbed Wire.
No! Here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing.
No. Hold on a second. Hold on. This is Barbed Wire time. Pam Anderson plays a superhero based off a comic book, and she has better acting ability and is more kind on the eyes than David Bautista. So based off of...
you said it. You said the one thing I didn't want you to say.
Kind on the eyes? She has beautiful
No.
eyes.
You said with better acting ability than Dave Bautista. you try and slide that right in under the radar. So here's the question. Based on zombie movies that are over the top and like could also be satirical, have you guys seen The Dead Don't Die?
The Dead Don't... Oh yes, that was the one where like they knew they were in the movie the whole time.
Yeah, it was Bill Murray and Adam Driver.
Yeah.
They were the two main characters, and
so good.
The theme song was Sturgill Simpson's song that he wrote specifically for the film, and it was played I think no less than 25 times. And anytime
I'm already sold.
Oh yeah, dude, you got to watch this.
Playing in the car, it was great. And I mean, like you guys know, I've done work for Sturgill before, and so I've done like a lot of deep diving into his catalog of music and like the anime that he did for his most recent record, Sound and Fury. And so I was super stoked when I saw that he did the song for it. And it was funny because anytime that it came on and people were talking, they literally took a pause and said, "Hang on, we have to let the theme song play." Like mid-film as it was playing, and they were like self-aware. And I think it was just such the perfect degree of like satire on zombies, an actual good zombie like comedy movie, and then like self-aware fourth wall breaking. Like it's a really good film, Arno. It's a Netflix, isn't it?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you, but the interesting thing about that was it was like people did not like the movie when it came out. Like it wasn't like critics hated it. And it had, I mean, if you look at the cast that was in it, you had Steve Buscemi, Bill Murray. I mean, Iggy Pop was in it. Raza, Selena Gomez. Yeah, Danny Glover. I mean, and there was a lot of like hidden things too. I mean, there were so many amazing like actors and actresses in the movie, and like all this like, and you know, not to what's it called, like ruin it, but there was a part where like one actor looks at the camera and is like, "We all know what's gonna happen now, right?" Like it's just like this whole like it was just it's I would highly recommend, and I think Bailey might agree. I would watch this one before I watched Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead.
That one I would agree on. The only thing that I would change is the fact that Dave Bautista is not in The Dead Don't Die. So,
Jesus.
I wanted to say I just got a DM that said I will not stand for this Pam Anderson barbed wire slander. So.
Listen, I don't know if you know this. So me and Bailey talked, I don't know, last week we had a phone call. We talk every so often. And he had told me, and I'm not supposed to announce this yet, but I'm going to announce it. So Bailey is doing a 12-part series based off of barbed wire once a month. He's going to be doing this beautiful barbed wire series based around the movie because he I don't know if he has the barbed wire tattoo on his left arm up on top. He's got like
Hang on, Anthony. It's Pam Anderson. What? I told him not to tell anyone. I'm sorry. I swear to God, I said on the phone explicitly, you cannot tell anyone. Trust me, I more than anyone want the lifetime supply of barbed wire biscuits. If I don't get those biscuits, I'm going to be so let down. All right. I'll tell him. Anthony.
Yes.
I'm not sharing the biscuits with you anymore, as promised, because you told people.
Well,
there we go. It's publicly said, so I expect my full share. Thank you.
You know, talking about Pam Anderson, did you see that they're doing a movie about Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee's the tape that came out? Yes,
it's starring Sebastian Stan, and that is one of the only reasons as to why I've been engaged with the ad cycle for it.
Oh, I love the story of this movie.
Because it's the funny thing is there's some people that hate it so much they're like bashing it. Then there's some people that are like they're intrigued by the actor and actress that are in it, and it's like, if there's a movie coming out based off of a sex tape from the 90s, like, and that's what they're making movies on nowadays, I can only imagine the shit they're going to make once, like, the 2000s, they start, like, digging into 2000s, because when social media became at its height, like, there was things about everything. I mean, so I'm curious what the next 10 years are going to look like for movies being made based off of true stories, because if they're now digging into, like, ex-sex tapes, I'm really curious who's going to play Kim Kardashian and that other guy.
Oh yeah, you know they're gonna make this a trilogy. You're gonna have the Pam Anderson tape. Yeah, you're gonna have the Paris Hilton tape, and then you're gonna have the Kim Kardashian tape.
Mm.
Oh, the Ray J. Kim Kardashian.
Dave Bautista just shows up in every movie as himself. He's the guy driving the boat in Pam Anderson's tape.
Why is Pam Anderson? Why is Kim Kardashian just riding the wave of that one great ad-libbed line on the Infinity War?
But what is he? He always says you're so disgusting. What does he say to the one girl? Like he's like, you're just so gross. Or what? No, you're not pretty. I don't. What does he say to the one? The
mantis.
He just goes on, and he's just like, I would never, ever imagine having sexual relations with you. You are the most vile, disgusting, gross being I've ever met in my entire life. He also says that one thing where he's just like, nothing goes over my head. I would catch it.
Oh, man.
I have to give it to you. Like, Drax is pretty much a perfect character, and he plays it very well.
That's what I'm saying. It's disheartening that he's leaving after Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah, well, apparently they wanted to make a Drax and Mantis movie, but it didn't happen because there wasn't enough interest. So I think you should start a petition.
Yeah, I mean, well, if they released the Snyder Cut, who knows what else they can do?
The Snyder Cut of just Drax looking at the camera and talking. 4 hours, uninterrupted.
Did you see today that what Zack Snyder talked about originally when he did the Superman reboot, like what it was supposed to be? It got announced today. So Zack Snyder, when he got the rights to do the Superman reboot, he originally had talked about having this in the Dark Knight timeline and getting the Lovitz guy to play the Batman Beyond character and having that in the series. But DC didn't believe that he was a big enough star to fill that role going forward with Henry the Superman guy
You're
going
talking
forward.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
The Joseph, yeah.
But they set Joseph Gordon-Levitt up at the end of the Dark Knight saga to become Robin. Like they had him like go and get the Robin costume and everything, and then they just never did anything with it.
Yeah, that would have been a nice idea.
It would have been clever, but we're now at a point now where we have all these different. That's the thing with DC, and we talk about this on every show. I talk Bailey's like Warner Brothers is doing no justice to DC movies. I mean, they consistently. Anytime something happens good with it, like I really feel like, Shazam, like was the Black Adam looks like it's probably gonna be the best thing DC does in a long time because The Rock is basically saying like, if you either do it my way, or I'm out, and The Rock is the biggest star in the world right now, and that's why this movie's gonna be good. But if you look at look at the original cut of Justice League in retrospect to what Zack Snyder's vision was, like they fucked that up big time, Warner Brother. I mean, if you look at like Wonder Woman, the idea behind the last Wonder Woman movie and what was put out compared to what it was supposed to be, Warner Brothers, sometimes you have to trust the artists. Like, like with you guys, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn with this because I'm not an artist by any means, but like, I would think that your work would suffer if every time you did something, you get like a creative person's like, no, I want all the colors changed. I don't want that to be a smiley face. I don't want that to be a sad face. I want to be smiley, and I want the words to look like clown letters. And then,
you'd be more surprised. I mean, you'd be surprised with how often that happens to us, though. Like with how people has like that they have different edits like that. Like Arno, I'm not sure if it's happened to you, but I've for sure at least 5 times sent a final to a client, and they've said, okay, well, we want this, and this added. We want all of these colors changed. We want this like changed ever so slightly. Like I was once told that I needed to lighten the area around one character's eyes in an entire illustration because it looked like they had a black eye. Like that's how nitpicky they got with like different things like that.
Well, let me ask you.
And the main issue there is like the people that critique your work and ask for additions or to take stuff away, they're not creative people. Like the more involved they are, it just becomes a design by committee thing, and you're just playing like you're a drawing hand for a group of people.
I'm not asking for any examples, but do you have prints that you put out that you believe the original piece that you had done was better than what you actually had putting out?
Oh, 1,000%.
That's a good question. I need to check my website.
I guess I was always quicker on answering that. I guess this has kept me awake most nights, right, compared to Arno. But
yeah, but the thing is, like the work I'm not really feeling. I also don't advertise. Like I just make it disappear forever. Yeah, because I always I live by the mantra of you need to put out what you want to get back.
Sure.
So I only try to advertise the things I like doing in the hopes that those are the only projects I get.
Now,
but for the most part, I think the last couple of years, clients have been really like forgiving and open to my vision to draw stuff.
Now, Arno, I know that besides the Beetlejuice print, which I'm looking at your things, have you done a lot of other pop culture pieces?
Oh yeah, I've tried doing a couple, but I always like those are the projects I make disappear because I'm not happy with those.
Really?
I struggle with using my style to show different stuff because I've had like projects of making a Guardians of the Galaxy poster and stuff like that, but I can't make it work for some reason.
See, I think you should do an Inception print. That's my when a couple of prints I saw, I'm like, he's made to do an Inception print, or hell, even like a Matrix print. Like, how the hell do we
Oh
get
no, that
that to
would be
happen?
kind of cool.
How can we get you to
That
do
would
the
be really
Matrix,
cool.
the colors, the things?
Well, you need to hook up at Mondo or Bottleneck first, and then you need to tell him like he needs to do this, and then I'll do it
Well, I see
if
how
the
this is.
money's right.
Well, the other thing too is, I mean, I would highly recommend, one license that I'm actually working on getting, and that I'll be hitting up Bailey about this if I get it. The Food Fighters is something that I would highly recommend you do. There
No,
hasn't
you're
been.
not. No, you're not. Don't
Oh
even
yeah.
start this again.
Oh yeah, dude.
We sunk 25 minutes of last month into talking about these goddamn sentient food items. And is this one of the things that you spent money on?
This is here.
when we were
Hold
talking?
on. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can zoom in. Hold on a second. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. Look at this. Hold on. Wait. There we go. See, look at this. Back in the day when I was little, you would go to your KB Toys because it was a KB Toys exclusive, and I don't see. Unfortunately, I can only pay for the $60 one because the actual full figured one with all the guns and his hat and all that stuff was too expensive. But yeah, this is officially a food fighter. This is. I bet you Foo Fighters got its name from this. I would feel very confident in saying that.
Did you just say you think Foo Fighters? Dave Grohl, the drummer from Nirvana,
Yeah.
one of the greatest musicians of all time.
You're whoa, time out. Greatest musicians of all time? Like you think he's a top 10 musician of all time?
But I said one of. That list can be any number. It could be 50 people long. It could be 100 people long. It could be 10 people long.
Hold
I
on.
could say he's the greatest musician of all time. I'm not saying it, but he could be up there.
In the list count of how many is Dave Grohl in the top list? Because I want to know this right now.
I'm gonna let this be subjective. I'm gonna let the people that are watching it and hearing it try and guess and assume.
And keep in mind that Dave Bautista is number one on his active list.
Dave Bautista. No. He's not. Okay, he's not number one. He's one of my favorites. One of my favorites.
Every list he's got, he's my favorite musician of all time. He's my favorite cook of all time. As I look for a significant other, if she or he does not like Dave Bautista, it will never work.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I will say he is number one on one of my lists. And I will say that list is the list of people named Dave Bautista on Earth.
Jeez.
Even that's debatable.
There's a Dave sitting in Kansas right now named Dave Bautista. That's
You just lost one viewer.
Hold on. Brad just said Dave is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, and that's great. And listen, there's a lot of bands in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that I don't like. I like Foo Fighters all right. I think that they have a lot of good songs. I don't think they have a lot of great albums. I think a lot of their albums fall off.
You were just telling me the other day that you don't think that Pearl Jam should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so I'm not going to be.
Wait.
I'm not going to be
whoa.
respecting
Bullshit.
Of your musician.
Time out. How do I shut him off? That is the biggest lie I've ever heard in my entire life. God. Anyone watching a show that knows better than that.
Because I was talking to you about music, and I was like, damn, I really love those musicians. How about that Edward Vedder? And you said, Edward Vedder? No, thank you. I would much rather listen to someone else not named Edward Vedder.
Sure.
Someone from another band. And I said, Anthony, you know what? This might be one of the only times that we agree. I'm just kidding, everyone. Please don't think that I don't like Pearl Jam. I do.
Hey, Bailey, honest question. Like, how many posters have you made for bands you hate?
3.
Okay.
Well, he knew that off the damn top of his head.
Oh yeah, you remember.
Yeah, you do remember. It's either whether it be you don't like the music or whether it like the band gets soured because it was like just absolute hell working with them. There's 3 of them. One of which I got hired. I sent the sketch. They said they loved it. I sent the final, and then they were like, well, we hired you specifically because we like the way that you draw marquee signage, and we don't see that on here. We want you to start the entire project over. And it was due in 3 days, and they didn't want to pay me a rush fee, and the sketch got approved without any marquee signage. And so it's there have been three projects that have been kind of like projects from hell, whether it be not really enjoying the music from the band or whether just being like really complicated in terms of just like getting the art to the final stage. But just like you said, Arno, like recently I've had a lot of people that have been really kind of just open to letting me run with what I want to run with, which is like super lucky just because I did for the first like year and a half of doing this, I did run into a lot of people that heavily art directed things that kind of took the fun out of the project. But recently people are just like, we really love your work. We just want you to run with it. And then they just kind of let me go. They let me off the chain, and I make artwork that is said off the chain, as the kids say. So
the kids, you're a kid.
It is very off the chain.
Oh, Jesus. Arno, what kind of music do you listen to? Like, what are you listening to? Like, what is something you've been listening to heavily lately?
I listen to almost everything. Let me open my Spotify. Lately, I've been listening to. Yesterday I was kind of on a modern classical / ambient kick for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why I was feeling emotional, so I was like, I need to wash these feelings away.
There's a playlist I found on Bailey's playlist, and it says everyone that sings like Dave Bautista. It's 155 songs.
I thought I made that private.
Nope, it's out there.
I need to do a cleanse before our next episode, so I can make sure that you can't come at me with any of this stuff anymore. And I'm also never inviting you over to my apartment because on paper it says it's a 1-bedroom plus den, but there's actually a second bedroom, and that's just my Dave Bautista shrine. I actually have I have a life-size cardboard cutout of him from every single role he's been in, as well as when he was a pro wrestler.
That totally makes sense. I got to meet him actually. God, about 10 years ago at a wrestling event. He was super nice. Can't say anything bad about him. But moving on from the Dave Bautista talk. So music-wise, ambient music. What are you listening to here recently, Bailey?
I have been listening to a lot of bands that I'm working with right now, which I can't say who it is because I can't say who I'm working for right now. But apart from that, I've been listening to a lot of Run the Jewels. Getting back into listening to Run the Jewels. Anthony, we've talked about them a couple of times. I've been listening to a lot of Q-Tip. I've been listening to a lot of Tribe Called Quest. Driving out today, out and about, I was listening to this band called Turnover, which is really they're a good band.
Turnover is amazing.
Yeah, so I've been kind of moving back and forth between kind of like really rhythmic, kind of emotional, alternative kind of stuff, and then to like old school hip hop, and then to like modern gangster rap, like Run the Jewels. It's kind of like.
Have you checked out the new Manchester Orchestra album?
Yes, I haven't. But believe it or not, you are the 12th person in the last week to tell me I need to listen to that album.
No,
it's so good,
so good. Yeah, the first song on the album, what is it called? Because
Inaudible.
Yes. I never heard of Manchester Orchestra until one of the writers for the Touring Fan Live reviewed the album. It was like, hey, Anthony, I highly recommend you listen to this. And, I'm all about, I like listening to new things. Like, Bailey's talking about Run the Jewels. I just started listening to them here recently. I don't think them as gangster rap, as Bailey says. I think they're far from gangster rap. Bailey, I don't even know if Bailey even knows what gangster rap is because that was before he was born. But
have we not talked like 6 times about the fact that I grew up on old school hip hop and knowing the old school hip hop genres? Because I think we have.
But here's the thing: I don't believe you. I just don't believe you.
Okay, continue.
But no, the Manchester Orchestra album is absolutely genius. Brad says
by the way, you've used all 5 of your Bailey's Too Young to Know What This Means cards for this month.
Time out.
How many do I have left?
You have 3.
Okay.
Brad says he prefers the alternative Q-Tip Cotton Swab. That's a new album that just came out.
I agree.
But no, yeah, so Manchester Orchestra album is amazing. I would say, though, the best music that's come out so far this year, the new St. Vincent is absolutely beautiful. It is her best album since probably. Oh Jesus! Probably I think what was the second? The second
it's her
one.
Best album since Jesus. That's a bold claim. That's probably a little bit of a bolder claim than me loving Dave Bautista as much as I do.
I don't think so. I would say that I think since I mean since Jesus was around, yeah, best thing since Saint Vincent. I could say that. No, since Strange Mercy, this is her best album in my
I think
opinion.
I have to agree. Like it's her most cohesive work, I think.
Well, as an
If you
artist,
want to know, Anthony, go ahead.
as an artist, what I've always adored about her is that she plays a character like for her albums. Like she always goes in as like a character. When her self-titled, she was a very religious, like she had like the cross and she was into that. Strange Mercy was like her dominatrix like era, like when she played live, she wore a lot of leather and all that. And then what was it? Mass Education was the one where she was like she played like the shy person. And then Actor and Marry Me, those albums were more like just her like coming right out of playing with oh, what was that religious group that she was a guitarist for? Oh my God.
Skillet.
No. She. He's so ridiculous. Um, no, she was in that band.
I named the only religious group that I knew. I'm sorry.
No, she was in a band. Oh my God, I'm trying. I gotta find it out now. It was like I know the song too. It's like it's like they all dressed up in robes, and it's like 30 of them on stage, and oh my goodness me, this
Was
is
it Evanescence?
no, it was not Evanescence. You schmuck. Oh,
I'm shooting out into the dark here. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
wait. Evanescence is a religious band?
I would think them to have religious undertones.
Oh God, I can't.
I think it's Polyphonic Spree.
Thank you. Yes, Polyphonic Spree. Yes, she was the guitarist in Polyphonic Spree on their two huge albums. Like she was she was the lead guitarist for all of that. Did you know that, Bailey?
Have you? I have no idea what any of what we're talking about, other than the fact that I know Saint Vincent vaguely. But on the topic of new music that's coming out, do you guys listen to Bleachers?
No, never heard of them.
I've listened to a couple of songs, but
They're putting out a new record. One of the singles is with Bruce Springsteen. It's really fantastic.
Wow.
And that single is called Chinatown, which is very good. They have another single that came out with it as a B-side to that called 45. But they have a new record coming out called Take the Sadness Out of Saturday Night, which is really good because it's Jack Antonoff's project. And Jack Antonoff is known as Lord's producer. He produces for Taylor Swift outside of the couple of songs that the Desner brothers produced for Folklore. And he's known specifically for getting into the music business because he was the guitarist in Fun. So that song, that band that was really popular like back in the early 2000s, it has that one song, you know what song I'm talking about. They have that one song, and so it's Jack Antonoff's project, and in my opinion, he is one of the great, and you guys are going to tear me apart for this, he is one of the greatest living music producers that are still working in modern music.
How did we do a show together? Like, what was the similarities? Like, what was the idea behind this? Because, like, I swear to God, like, every time I finish the show, I scratch my fucking head. I'm like, what was he thinking when he said that?
Well, in my opinion, my toss-up between the top two is Dan Auerbach and Jack Antonoff.
Oh,
well, I have to disagree with both of those. But
thank you, Arno. Oh man. But it's interesting talking about music. There's a lot of music coming out this year that, there's a lot of good music still coming out. I'm kind of looking at a list. I mean, Moby's got a new album coming out soon. Garbage has a new album coming out soon. Lana Del Rey, the Billie Eilish, which, I wasn't a big, I listened to her old stuff because my kids did, but her new single is probably the best thing she's ever done, in my opinion. It's more of my cup of tea, but I will say it is still very weird for me, like that are all these men online, like at my age, I'm 36, like I guess like drooling over her because she just turned 18. Like I just feel weird. Like I don't think it's appropriate. Like, so I'm just a little PSA for everyone out there. 45-year-old men talking about how good looking Billie Eilish is, it's inappropriate. Like, this is my opinion. Just my opinion.
I completely agree. I think we should agree that like 35 is the cutoff.
I would agree that like 23 is the cutoff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, Bailey,
it's also very weird that people are obsessed with the way she looks more than the music she makes.
Well, that's because so recently it's a crazy thing surrounding Billie and her image, because people were like fawning over her for years. Like before she was 18, there were people in their 20s being like, "Oh my God, she's like one of the most attractive people. She's got like that cool e-girl aesthetic."
Mm.
And then the second that she turned 18, she was just like, "I'm gonna reclaim the narrative, and I'm gonna not let people fawn over every other picture of me, and I'm gonna give them a constant stream of me showing off my image and me showing off the way that I look, so I can reclaim like what people think about me, and I can reclaim the idea that people are like people are turning her into like a sex symbol, which turning anybody into a sex symbol is not good. But
No.
just like the fact that she took the reins of that and
Mhm.
said, I'm going to control when and how you do that,
Yep.
I think is super respectable.
Totally, I couldn't
Yeah,
agree.
and she's an amazingly smart person for how young she is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Did you
one.
guys watch her documentary?
Yeah, and that
I still have to.
Yeah, me and my wife watched it with my son and daughter.
Mhm.
And there is a part at the beginning of the movie. It's very interesting because you start falling in love with the family because they're very much. And I think it's different. I bet you the experience that I had with it is different than Bailey because with me having 2 kids and a wife, and like him kind of being at the same age, like what I took out of it was like I wanted to be closer to my kids and like I wanted to hold them because like, there's definitely parts of the movie where you see like her growing up and like separating herself from her family and like how the music industry is trying to take over her career and like how it's affecting her and like it really it was emotional for me as a parent. Like God, like you almost want to give the girl a hug and be like, listen, it's okay, I'm sorry you're going through this. And like you see like the parents struggling to like let her grow, but they're doing it because they don't want to hold her back. And it was probably the best documentary that's come out this year so far that I've seen.
I feel like I've only seen that documentary, so I would have to agree.
Well, okay. Well, hey! I need a bell. That's 1 for 1 for us today.
Just keep score.
So I know we only have a couple of minutes left. Arno, are there any projects that you're super excited about coming up?
Yeah, but they're all under NDA, so I can't talk about them.
So wait, now I don't know if you know this. I do have a picture of Bailey's new print that he has coming out in 2 days. If anyone is interested in purchasing the new Food Fighters 24 by 36 print, all you have to do is go to Bailey's website.
24 by 36 with a giant fucking burger.
Like even that is too small for that person. Let's be honest.
Hey, no shit, Bailey. I purchased one. I hope Dan's not watching. I bought one of those for Dan Mumford. It's actually on the way to his house now.
But outside of that, I will say personally, in terms of projects that I have coming up that I'm excited about, I can't really talk about specifics, but as of Wednesday of last week, I have acquired the entirety of the license for Sega games. So I have full free use of Sega. So I'm going to be having a bunch of really cool retro Sega things coming out over the next
Zombie Ate My Neighbors?
couple of months. So, I mean, they told me anything. So what I told them specifically, I would really enjoy doing something for Streets of Rage. And I, obviously, with next month being Sonic's 30th birthday, I'm interested in doing something for Sonic this year. So
I wonder what he asked for his birthday. Like, hey, I'm turning 30, new pair of shoes. Like, what does like a 30-year-old hedgehog ask for?
Probably a rework of that bad CGI job for the movie.
Yeah, he wants to write that movie off for his taxes because it was like a charity job with how bad it was.
The new one comes out next year.
Oh yes.
That's
I hope it stars Dave Bautista.
Obviously just Dave Bautista colored Drax. I just want Drax. I want Drax that runs really quickly.
Jesus.
And that way when, Eggman is like, he goes, why is and so that was just a really good kind of back and forth banter going on in the film.
Oh man. No, I will say, so I did, for anyone that keeps up with the show, I don't know if you've noticed, Arno, this is the first time we've ever talked, so I know you don't probably know much about the show really per se, unless you did a real in-depth dive in, but we've been real busy we have we did a huge announcement a couple of days ago for the event in New Jersey in September. We're doing a huge event raising money for the Project Matters, so we'll be doing that, announcing some bands, have some bigger news coming up with some artists and some other things coming up in the next few weeks. we had we have a couple other shows coming up, and then once again we'll be this will be for sale on Bailey's website in just a few hours. So make sure you check that out. Fun stuff. But the real big question I have for you guys, and because it's kind of been hinted on Reddit all day, and just blink twice if it's yes. Are either one of you involved in this secret Radiohead project?
Wait, which one was?
Did you hear about this?
I have not heard anything about it.
Radiohead is supposedly putting out an NFT album, which, if you have a few minutes, Arno, to explain what the hell this NFT thing is, I'd love for you to explain to me before we end the show.
A few minutes. Oh my God.
Well, I don't understand it, but anyway.
I asked him one question. I got like 12 responses to the one question the last time we talked about it, which is welcome, Arno. Like, I'm not complaining at all about that. I'm just saying he knows what he's talking about.
I have no idea what it means. Anyway, but supposedly it's like an NFT album coming out, and supposedly they're including 50 of the top artists in the world, which I still don't understand how you can choose who the top artists are, because everyone has different abilities and stuff. So I hate like comparing art to art because I think that's silly. But supposedly Radiohead is doing something with NFT, poster artists, and music that is supposed to be this huge incorporation of things that's supposed to be coming out at some point in July.
I haven't heard anything.
First I've heard of it.
All right, so do me a favor. Explain to me what NFT is.
Okay, so essentially it's just a digital asset. So it's the best way to compare it is you have a lot of people that love collecting baseball cards. Okay. What is the value of a baseball card? Nothing. It's ink on paper. It has a serial number. It's been drawn by Alex Pardee or Matt Taylor or whoever. It looks cool, and you have it. And because it's wanted by a lot of people, it goes up in value. And NFT is basically the digital version of that. And it's like a lot of people say, it's just you can right click and save a JPEG, and you have that image.
Yeah.
But an NFT it's backed up on the blockchain that says you're the only one that has that asset, and you're the only one that can pass along that asset for a set amount of money or for free. You can transfer it. You can even burn it and make it not exist anymore if you want to go really extreme. So yeah, the best way to look at it is just like digital baseball cards, digital collectibles. If you've ever bought a skin in Fortnite or any asset in any game whatsoever, that's basically an NFT.
So, okay, so I understand it, but I guess it's just hard for me to understand because I like actually holding something. Like I like the physical copy. So, but in the same sense,
fungible items.
I guess I don't know what that means, but sure.
I'm assuming non-fungible means you can't hold it.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's non-fungible means it's not replaceable. There's only one of those.
Interesting. Because, for me, and maybe it's my age and stuff. Now, it's funny because I say this, but then I'm also heavily involved in Bitcoin right now, which is something that I don't understand. I just know that I'm making money on it. But yeah, I have a hard time understanding, because it's I guess the other day, the Charlie Bit My Finger video was pulled off YouTube and it was sold for like $675,000 as an NFT.
Yeah, which is, it's very weird to me that one of the conditions of the sale of that was take it off of YouTube, because they erased the entire history and provenance of that video and then gave it to someone. Yeah, so it would have been better if they said you get the NFT. If you buy the NFT, you get the further revenue streams of the video or whatever.
Yeah, it absolutely makes no sense to me. I but who am I? I still don't understand. I think it's just I have a hard time. If I can't hold it, I don't want to buy it. But then again,
you have to think like I have a pretty large collection of NFTs now, because whatever I make with NFTs, I buy more with to support other artists.
Okay.
And you could buy like digital frames, hang them up in your house, and just go through your entire portfolio in a day. So you have a different work of art every hour to look at.
Yeah, but I mean, if I don't know. it's tough. It's a tough sell for me. I don't know. Maybe give
Yeah,
me.
but it's a very abstract way of thinking about things. Like if you buy something, you want to be able to hold it. You want to be able to store it somewhere safe.
Yeah.
You want to be able to pick it up and look at it, and you can do all those things. It's digital, and the proof that you own that is on the blockchain.
Well, this is the first time that I don't understand what the hell we're talking about. And I'm cool with it. Like I'm totally down. It's cool. I mean, I just maybe it's my old age. It's my AARP shit hitting up here soon. But I did go from collecting vinyl to collecting MP3s. So who knows? Maybe I'll be getting an NFT at one point. But anyway, listen, I know Bailey has some traveling he wants to do, and Arno, I know it's late by you and you need to get back to work, but Arno, I really appreciate you coming on, and it's great to actually talk to you and be on episode 2 of X Gets the Square, as the sign says, X Gets the Square, which I still don't know what that means, but I like the name. Bailey, as always, I love arguing with you and complaining about things that you do and your mindset on shit, because I still don't think that I don't think you understand some of the things you say. I think that maybe think twice before you talk about Dave Bautista and Dave Grohl and stuff like that. You can enjoy things, but doesn't mean they have to be great.
Yeah, but this is coming from someone that says that one of the greatest properties of all time is sentient food.
Greatest properties of all time is sentient food? I don't know if it's the greatest properties, but I am working hard to get the license for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Anthony, as always, thank you for talking to us about sentient food. I look forward to hearing more about it next month.
That's right. When I have the hot dog that was going to be sitting right next to my cheeseburger. So until next time, I'm Anthony. That's Bailey above me. To my side is Arno Kiss. Check out Arno's work online everywhere. Instagram. Well, I guess he has all these places. He just doesn't post often, so it's special. When will he pop up again? Probably when he's an I. Until that next time, thanks for tuning in to X Gets the Square.